Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor here. We're back with a little bit of an update before the fantastic debrief, which is going live tonight with myself, Oscar, and Gabe from 7 o'clock. You guys really enjoyed it last week, and we're going to be talking about Leeds United. We're going to be previewing the game coming up this weekend, a massive game, the biggest game of the Championship calendar so far, in my opinion, between Leeds United and Burnley, Ellen Road, 12:30. You guys going to be there? Are you not going to be there? Are you going to be watching it with me on the watch along? Or you could be watching it, putting it on mute because we can't stand Hinchcliffe. Daniel Mann's not too bad. And having me on the commentary. What are you going to be doing? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, guys, we have loads of new articles on oneleeds.com today. We have one on Matteo Joseph. We have some extra writers who are coming into the team as well, which is really exciting. Constantly looking at expanding the group. And alongside that, we've got a bit from Gabe as well, which is a fantastic article, I must say, on Leeds United so far and where we are projected to be, and the conversation about Elan Millet. So go check that out, link in the description below. We also have bits, Patreon bits, really exciting actually on Patreon. We have just dropped our new merch, and there is a giveaway on Patreon right now, which is active. Get involved in that, everybody. Free bit of merch, it's well worth it. So what we're going to be talking about today, interesting Sheffield United development in terms of their American takeover, which appears today to be on thin ice when it comes to the finances. Apparently the American group, of which this has been going on all summer, it's not at a stage where Sheffield United want. Obviously the Prince wanted this deal to be done, Prince Abdullah, and as we're speaking right now, it's at a very, very tenuous stage of their negotiation. Now, a lot of it apparently is to do with the financial side of it. Interestingly, apparently they wanted to bring in Tom Cannon. Apparently they were looking at bringing in Chris Basham on loan. But the finances, the financial side of those deals was brought down by the lack of sales that they made, of which they needed to make to bring in those signings and a couple of others apparently. And I found that really interesting because it comes back to the last day, doesn't it? It comes back to Leeds United and Gus Hamer. You wonder if that had a little bit of financial implication and if actually they would have dealt with Leeds United and they were dealing and were in conversation with Leeds, because if they needed the finances for the other deals, well, the only bit of income they're making on that last day is going to be Gus Hamer to Leeds United. So interesting when you're looking at that side of it. Burnley. What we're looking at with them, well, there is a bit of an injury crisis, as we know. Bayer, Steve, but there are new ones. Connor Roberts is apparently one of which they're not really confident with this weekend. They're going to keep an eye on his progress. Obviously, the former Leeds United loanee, it'd be fascinating to see him back at Ellen Road, what part he would play, but obviously he's been on their right-hand side, potentially. As I've mentioned previously as well, another Leeds United link in Manuel Benson is another one who will be out or may be out for this one. Scott Parker will be giving updates, but Burnley are in a little bit of an injury crisis at this moment in time, which for Leeds United is good as well. Why? Because Leeds welcome back, of course, Patrick Bamford and Dan James for this one, which means that the only one who was a little bit dubious is Willian Jonso. However, apparently, according to the Italian media, Willian Jonso was taken off as a precaution to something which could have been, a little bit more serious, which is really good news when it comes to Leeds. So it all seems pretty good for the club at this moment in time. It all seems pretty effective when it comes to us going forward. Liam Cooper, as well, on the room mill this morning, apparently is about to sign for CSKA Sofia. That deal is going to be announced extremely soon. But just a little bit of updates on the Sheffield United Gus Hamer situation. Sheffield United's American takeover is in doubt as a financial step proves a problem. The deal was due to be finalised at the end of August, a deadline set by the club's owners for the arrival of a signature and more cash. Blades were due to make a couple of late signings in the window, but the cash needed to complete loan deals for Chris Basham and Tom Cannon didn't arrive. There was no late sale of Gustavo Hamer to provide funds internally for those transfers. Further talks have taken place, but the identity of the moneymen behind the group has been kept a secret, but sources also claim that a non-refundable sum has been paid that will also stay in the club's coffers. So there you go. It's going to be interesting to see how that one develops over the days and if Sheffield United are actually going to be able to get this one done. because once again, this is what they've been looking for God, the best part of 6 to 8 months now. It's been going on, it's been dragging on. But Sheffield United and ownership seems to be a little bit of a saga right now. And the reason we've got to speak about that is because, let's be honest, they are our division rivals. They're our Yorkshire rivals, and any sort of black mark on them right now is a positive thing for Leeds United. So I'm all happy with that one. But what do you guys want to see anyway? What do you guys want to see when it comes to Leeds United going forward this weekend? I think I'd go with the lineup of Ilan Meslier, right back Jayden Bogle. Centre backs, I'd go with Joe Rodon and Pascal Strout. Firpo, obviously, on the left-hand side. In the middle, I think you've got to go with... Because it's Burnley, am I being a bit of a hypocrite? Should you put 2 defensive pivots in there for this one? I don't know, maybe. Gruev's on the back of 5 clean sheets right now. He seems to be right on it and playing really well. So if there is an argument for Gruev, I could be swayed to putting him in that defensive pivot. So let's go with him and Ampadu. And I think going forward, this is going to be the interesting one with Ramazani available. You know, we need to see a lot more of him. We could tell he was a class above the other day, couldn't you? But also, you know, you've got Dan James, who's back into the fold now, who was featuring heavily, wasn't he? And has got a goal to his name this season already. So, yeah, listen, it's going to be an interesting squad decision. If I was to be a betting man, I would probably say that he'll go with Dan James on the right. I think on the left, he's going to go with Manos Solomon. Through the middle, I think we're going to see Willian Yonso. And then up top, I'm going to suggest that we're going to see, not surprisingly, Matteo Joseph. Now, we have done an article on the website about Matteo Joseph, everybody, written by yours truly. Really appreciate you guys checking that out if you're interested in that sort of thing. Listen, we spoke about him up and running and how crucial he's going to be this season, and the data behind it as well, which is pretty interesting with how he started, because a lot of people have said that he's not had a great start, but listen, he's had 3 goal involvements now in 4 games. Not only that, his pre-season was pretty devastating as well, but the involvements... He's looking good, Matteo Joseph, looking very, very good, and I'm very, very excited to see how this one's going to develop. But yeah, guys, the Liam Cooper thing's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, CSK Moscow Sofia, I should say. Looks like that one's going to be done tomorrow, as per reports. Massive deal. It'll be interesting to see how Leeds sort of announce that, because obviously, you know, club captain, isn't it, leaving the club. You know, obviously, I know we've got these vice captains and captain replacements in, of course, but it's going to be fascinating to see the announcements. I think, you know, that's going to be interesting from a Leeds fan perspective, because we're all going to be looking at that thinking, okay, we want to see something a bit more than potentially what we saw for Luke Ayling. A little bit of appreciation, obviously, in a maybe glowing video or some words or whatever from Liam Cooper. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Really interested to hear what you think this one. What would you go for your lineup against Burnley? And we could be in for some a really good weekend, everybody, if everything goes our way. So good news on the Leeds front. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And should we potentially go in for Gus Harmer again in January? See you in a bit.